Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at the Amazing Spider-Man Facsimile edition from issue number 121. Spoilers, the famous issue where Gwen Stacy dies. This facsimile issue just came out this week, and the irony, the timing of cover artist and interior inker and legendary comic book artist and Spider-Man artist, his contributions to comic books cannot be denied. Just look at this gorgeous cover, and everybody knows John Romita, and he passed away this week. And it's very sad. We lost another legend. So we're going to look at this facsimile issue that features some of his art and talk a little bit about the man. So that's this episode. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and let's get right into it. This cover is so iconic. I love this kind of cover. I feel like this cover is definitely like a, in a time capsule, unless you're like doing an homage or a nostalgia cover. This cover is so great. It has so much going on for it. I've been loving these facsimile editions. I've never read before this Amazing Spider-Man number 121. And oh my gosh, it's making me want to do a deep dive on Spider-Man. I sort of like was always a Spider-Man fan, but based on like, God forbid, the television show, the, 60s cartoons. I'm not that old, but, reruns. And, Spider-Man is Amazing Friends was big for me. And in the comics, I think it pretty much started with John Romita Jr. As a matter of fact, my first issue was the great Juggernaut cover one with the great effect. And penciled by Romita Jr., inked by Romita Sr. The art was beautiful. Romita Sr. apparently loved inking. He inked Jr. a few times, and it was always beautiful, and just what a legend. Let's get right into it. But I just love the classicness of this cover. I love, Steve Ditko introduced the corner box art to make it easier for kids to find comic books, and what a great contribution to comic books. And of course, legendarily speaking, Romita followed Ditko on Spider-Man, something he was in no hurry to do. And thank God that he did. He created such a new era, just as important, like an evolution in Spider-Man, a necessary evolution that I think made Spider-Man real for its readers and created some legendary stories. Introduced the look of Mary Jane Watson, introduced Gwen Stacy. So many great things. Jerry Conway scripter, Gil Kane artist. I love Gil Kane so much. He is one of my favorite comic book artists. Inked by Romita and Tony Mortellero. Artie Simek letterer, and David Hunt colorist. It's nice to see the colorist credited here because, back in the day, they didn't always credit the colorist, and I think it turned a point somewhere. But like the coloring of Marvel comic books in the 70s and 80s was like sublime. I love seeing it reprinted here on this great paper too. Some people would argue that these would be better printed on newsprint, and I can't deny that. However, I do like seeing like the art as crisp and gorgeous as it possibly can be, and it does flatter it very much so. I've always been terrified by Norman Osborn's hairdo. I don't get it. Like, I don't know if they've ever tried to successfully pull it off in a movie, but I think they should. Like, what is happening here? Is it like cornrows? It's like Marcel potato chips? Like, what the hell, right? Is it like Squirrel Girl? Like, is it like just the worst, like, most horrifying toupee ever? Okay, Gil King. Look at the angles. Like where the camera is looking at the back of Spider-Man, looking through the window of Harry Osborn's apartment. Um, I mean, it's no wonder like Gil Kane is just like so amazing. But it's so weird, like putting in so much effort in every single page. Like there is not one page without a background, and so many pages with just like dynamic angles and just like drama. Like this panel here just brings the drama. I love this. Just shows like what a great art form comic books are, and like comic books from this era are so good. I love Gil Kane's anatomy and his just you know his. But I'm thinking this might be like a little bit looser because I do feel a lot of the Romita aesthetic is coming through, especially in the faces of Mary Jane and Gwen here. definitely. You know, famously, John Romita drew romance comic books before this, and wasn't really in love with the idea of wanting to draw superheroes. And, you know, that's why Peter looks so handsome and the girls look so pretty. And, you know, it really was such a great sort of soap opera at this point. You know what I mean? So I think that it's, you know, like things like that happen. Look at this great angle here. You know, I'm giving all this credit to Ramita, but this really does seem like a beautiful artistic collaboration. What a great match, right? Um, I mean, the storytelling is just off the chain. So many panels per page, and just like I said, like, you know, like bird's eye views, and like just like dynamic perspective, and just like detailed backgrounds, livable spaces. You know what I mean? This is what makes great comic books. Also, love the original ads being presented here. 204 random number piece war soldier set, only $1.98. I mean, that's less than a penny a piece, right? See what I mean about the great colors here? This is when Marvel was kind of wacky with their like, I mean, you got this like magenta next to this green and orange, which, you know, doesn't make sense in a lot of ways, but especially at the time, only being able to use flat colors, it gave it sort of this great pop art effect and just made it just like so fun and exciting to the eye. I mean, it just works, you know what I mean? Look at how you're just following through. I can't help but feel, you know, think of the like 60s cartoon that I referenced earlier with the crazy, like almost hallucinogenic effect that had. I was particularly laughing at this, although this is my art nerdism right here. Like, and I say this often in a lot of my critiques. This is why it's important, and I feel like hopefully a lot of artists or aspiring artists watch my channel because I do drop nuggets of wisdom. I do somewhat, a little bit, sometimes know what I'm talking about, but look at the beautiful folds in the sheets here. That's why you have to learn how to draw that crap in art school because it's gonna come up. I mean, do you want it to be like super distracting to have Harry laying in bed and like it looks like he's laying in a rubble or just like it doesn't look like a blanket because you don't know how to draw one? Don't be stuck inside your art. Use your art as a tool. And this was cracking me up because he's like grabbing this like ghostly image of Spider-Man because you know he's like losing his mind. First of all, the color of this is like so cool. I would love to see this like on film somehow in the Spider-Verse Part 3. But I love that he's kind of, it almost looks like he's grabbing his ass. I mean, let's face it, right? This, see, but this is like clearly, you know, like in the girls' faces, you see a lot of Ramita. These faces here scream Gil Kane so much. Like, that is definitely a Gil Kane face. I love it. I just, if you know Gil Kane, you just know he just has a certain, like, pencil work that is just, like, so amazing and dynamic and beautiful. And I just love it so much. Such a great, like, this is such a good comic book. I could, like, I can't even imagine, like, this is well before my time in comic books. And I just can't even imagine, like, I would have lost my mind if I, like, were a reader of monthly comics at the time and this issue came out, especially because I know I would have been in love with Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy. And to know what's coming just, like, breaks my heart. The other thing I love is that I had, like, the Mego action figure of the Green Goblin. My brother had Spider-Man and the Lizard, and I had Green Goblin and Captain America. And I loved my Green Goblin, and I feel the face is so, like, true to that, so that like makes me extra happy too. Just like look at the angle of this, like it's such good storytelling, and the buildings. I mean, just amazing. Like you know, reading Spider-Man always inspired me to want to put like so many buildings in New York and my, you know, my submissions or my art samples or just my own homemade comic books. And I love this on the bridge here, the George Washington Bridge. This is so amazing. And I love the colors, like the green and yellow. It's so garish. I thought this was interesting here too because all these buildings have like shadow. I mean, and then this is green and it's just like, it's so garish and weird, but so amazing at the same time. I mean, This is, you're not going to get comics much better than this at this point. And very interesting because I don't know that I knew that Jerry Conway was writing this. Like I felt like it was like Roy Thomas or Stanley who killed Gwen, but then I don't know. It's kind of coming back to me. I kind of like this here too because it always was weird to me that Green Goblin like was a mask because it always looked like just his face once he put the mask on, and that very much you can see almost the eye holes right there. So I kind of like that. This is, I mean, aside from the fact that like what an impactful, powerful punch of a panel to use some Stanley alliteration there for you. And heartbreaking. Oh my gosh. I mean, how do we know that she's not dead here at the time, right? She could very well be dead here. Like then, but I mean, let's face it. I guess Spider Man did. And then, I mean, she's in like this is just tragic. Like I have no like it's weird because I have no like real love or affection to Gwen. I have a reverence, but this just broke my heart. I couldn't have taken it as a reader. Like it's no wonder why so many people kind of lost their minds when this came out and how this really just was such a milestone in comics. I mean, the the emotional impact, the beauty of the artistry, just the characterization, like so many things are just lining up for legend here. And I'm just, see, once again, these facsimile, like, they should be in a library, the Library of Congress or the Smithsonian or something. And, oh, gosh. And we saved the title for the last page, The Night Gwen Stacy Died. And you can be sure the story doesn't end here. To be continued. Break my heart. That is amazing and beautiful. I know that there must be a Gil Kane artist edition, and this has got to be in it. It's so amazing. You guys, if you see these facsimile editions, pick them up without hesitation. They are definitely going to be worth something, I think, and because a lot of the older ones already are. And it's an opportunity to, like, you know, you can read it online and stuff, but I don't know, it's just a great way to experience these legendary stories. So thumbs up. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I'll bring you more later.